Hello, everybody. Day 2474 in isolation. What? What? This is only day 8 in isolation? Seems like a lot more than that. I'm thankful that I have a place to live, food to eat. Some people out there wondered, like you're on house arrest. Basically, everybody. What about the people that don't have a house to be arrested in? There's a lot of homeless people out there in Canada, and I don't know where they are, what they're doing, if there's enough shelters for them, but, you know, hope everybody in Canada is okay. That's one thing I want to say today, being the second day of a presentation practice. Today, I'm going to do something a little different. Rather than go for a walk and talk to you at the same time. I do have a lot more energy when I'm going for a walk, though, I can tell you that. You get up, you get going, your energy gets moving, and you're good to go. But yeah, so this being day 2, I wanted to continue off. I said I was going to talk to you, tell you a story about the second time I hit my head, and I have had a couple hits to the head. Not going to lie. During my hockey career, I've had 2. During my work career, I had 1. The incident I'm going to tell you about today is I was managing a Dairy Queen in Dryden, Ontario, and in the basement of that building there is a low-lying vent made of cement. In a basement. It was very solid, and I went downstairs with one of those little golfing hats there they used to have, but you'd wear golfing with the top out of them, and all you had was a beak. The visors, there you go. Had a visor on, Dairy Queen visor, and when you have the visor on, it's like a little duck bill out there. You can't see anything, so I was running along. Oh, man, boom! Went to the floor. And I was out cold. I still have a scar to this day on my top of my head. Kicked that a little hard. My apologies. Right across the top. I can't show it to you now, but I will show it to you at some time because I don't have my head shaved. But when I have my head shaved, you can see a line right across here. My skull cracked. Came solid. It came to a thing, but boom! I was up on my ass. I had hot fudge, which does not clean very well when spilled. Does not clean very well when explodes. When it falls on, it was a mess. Absolute, complete, utter mess. I bet you if you went into the building, there's still hot fudge on the floor somewhere around that area. That's how bad of a explosion that the hot fudge made. Yeah, so that was my second concussion. I was out for like 30 seconds. Jumped up, went upstairs, and started working and back and everything when I woke up. Well, I cleaned up everything myself first, and it's quite a mess. Cleaned all that as much as I could, but it was busy upstairs. That's why I was running. I was running back and forth. I was trying to get the hot fudge from the basement to the top to put it into the hot fudge machine so it would get warm, so everybody can have the hot fudge sundaes or peanut butter parfaits if they wanted that in there. You know what I'm saying? All that kind of stuff. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we'll try not to say that anymore. So this is day 2 of getting high gibberish. Yesterday I walked around, but every time I would walk a little bit, well, especially at the first of the video, I hate watching myself. That's why I don't make these videos, because most of the time when you do a video, if it's any longer than a minute or 2, you have to redo it, because I don't like editing, because I don't like watching the video. If I do a video, it is raw, it is open. I do it maybe 1 or 2 times, throw it online. Obviously, a video that's longer than 5 to 10 minutes, you're not able to do multiple times. Like yesterday, I did a 30-minute video. There was no editing. It was raw. It was straight up. Just go, put it on, try to make people laugh in this beautiful time that we're having. So, anyway, I got to tell you, I'm going to take a little break here. I'm going to try to get off screen because, whoop. This is a time. This is legal substances that have been legalized since October of 2018. Prior to that, I had a prescription that was prescribed to me to ease the anxiety. I tell you, and it works. I don't know if there's anybody out there who's 420 friendly. I hope there is. If there's not, there might be many more people that are 420 friendly now that this little incident has happened that they didn't believe would ever happen. This is the first time in my life that it would be better to be a child than it would be to be an adult right now. Because when you're a child, nothing's really happening. You don't really understand, unless your parents are fucking bad, what tragedies are happening in the world, what could happen, what's going on, what the war we're fighting against this microorganism or virus or whatever this is that's coming into our lungs as a species and killing us. And I don't know if there's other species that can get it as well. I haven't done a lot of study on it. I haven't gone a lot with the hype. All I know is that we are isolated. I am bored as and just trying to get through every day. Done a little bit of writing, stuff like that. I learned how to play the harmonica. I don't have it on me. Sometime I will do. No, I'm not going to do that because I'm still a beginner. I've played it like a half dozen times in my life, but I love it. Great instrument. I would suggest anybody out there, if they want to pick up an instrument or something, they order a harmonica online. If you like the blues, jazz, stuff like that, it's pretty cool because it's pretty easy to pick up the notes and stuff. So it's pretty fun. Anyway, I don't prepare all the jokes that I write and stuff like that. I don't want to prepare anything. It's hard to do because this is the hardest part of stand-up. Is once you get up on stage and you don't have any notes or anything like that, it's difficult to think about what to talk about. And the one thing that I have learned in my short experience of less than a dozen times of trying to do stand-up, I did well a couple times I didn't. But you learn what you got to do, and in your brain you just got to keep talking and try to get the it's hard for me because in my brain right now I'm talking faster than I can actually output, and the average person thinks like 20 thoughts a minute or whatever it is. If these are not actual statistics, but if the average person was to think 20 thoughts a minute and can spit out 5 of those words, in a minute, in a second, or whatever it is, 5 to 1, I think it is, or something like that per second. I'm at like 10, but I can only communicate half of what I'm thinking in the amount of average time. I think twice as quick, but the words don't come out as quick, and you have to try to organize it in there. That's kind of how I explain anxiety, because your mind is just going all the time. You're never stopping. You can't sleep at night. Why? Because your brain's going. Your brain's thinking everything. Something bad's going to happen. Something good's going to happen. What could happen? What could not happen? What's going on? What's not going on? What's going on in the world today? Stuff like this that's happening in the world today kind of gets you going. It gets you going. What's going crazy? What's going on? Because I ended off yesterday telling about different things. Like life marks in my life since I was born. I've had irony, and it hasn't been a normal life. My dad, bless his best parents in the world. They always provided and were always there and always loved me and always cared for me. Very strict, very old school. Like if you're 40 years old and you say your parents were old school, well, my parents were like your parents. That's how old school my parents were. My dad did not have a toilet. I'm not going to talk about that. Anyway, he walked uphill both, everything, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, so back into doing stand-up. One thing yesterday when I was clanking around and going like that, you could hardly hear what I was saying, so I wanted to change it up today. The other thing is, if you're doing stand-up, it's kind of hard to practice doing stand-up walking around, because when you're doing stand-up, I wanted to practice standing up doing stand-up. So that's one thing you have to do, because I move around, because I told you, for me to stand still, it's difficult. My legs will keep going and everything like that. You can't see them down there, but I'm just saying it's going like this. I'm just going to stop doing that. Anyway, so that's pretty much been my experience so far. Talking about the tragedies in the life. Everything was unicorns, rainbows, everything was it was heaven. It was like a Lucky Charms commercial in my life until 1999. I mean, I was bullied, but not bullied hard. Like, I didn't have fucking hunky-dory. I was going to try not to swear, because part of this, the reason I'm doing this video, is I have a 10-year-old son that doesn't know me very well. I talk to him as much as I can, which is once or twice a week. He lives 2,500 kilometers away from me, so I see him twice a year. This is a way for, if I do get COVID and pass away, Landon, this is a little bit of who I was, acting a fool a little bit to try to get some laughs and some bad times. But I love you, Landon. I love you very much with all my heart. And I want you to have something in case I don't get to see you again. But I pray that we'll see you again here. I plan on going to see you the first week of August, I believe, is your mom's going out for a week, and that's when I'm going to come and spend that week for you. Anyway, back to fun. I hate when you think about other things because your mind gets thrown off, then you don't even know where you were, you don't even know what you're talking about. When you're not planning anything, it doesn't really matter, though. Yeah, I'm going to do another one of these things here. Get myself going. Don't know what's going on with that. Oh, shit, there it is. Ah! Bam! Yeah! That's one of the things I like is accents and sorry for fucking shocking you with that, Little John. What? Yeah! I never practiced that very much, but I should practice it more, and that's what you got to do. I'm going to practice it. I'm going to post this without editing it, without looking at it or anything like that. I got a couple other accents, but I'm timid. You got to just give it. You got to go. Over the next week, I'm going to try. I should get new accents. The accents I got, I don't even know if they're still alive. One of them, Marlon Brando, no. Sean Connery, somewhere. Sean Connery, Jay Moore, doing Christopher Walken. Okay. What I want to do, this accent here, it's not Christopher Walken. It's more like Jay Moore doing Christopher Walken, because he made a joke. It's true, but it's not my joke. Christopher Walken, he likes to put spaces where they shouldn't be. The other guy that did this, and the reason why he did shows, I'm not going to mention his name, was pretty good at doing the accent, but you got to remember that he always puts time-lapse spaces in his sentences when he tries to talk. If you don't know who Christopher Walken is, that's because he's really old. But, yes, he is very old, but he's not as old as I am. I just like to say that if you watch an interview with Sean Connery in 1980s, I think it was the lady he was interviewing with was Diane Sawyer. Diane Sawyer. Was it Diane? It might have been Barbara Walters, maybe. Maybe. It was Barbara, maybe. I made a joke, and I back up my joke every time. She said to me, that sounds more like Bane from Batman. But whatever, I'll work on that one too. The other one that I have, you may not know this voice, but this voice right here was on a movie. He just had his balls dropped. Did you hear that? What's his name? He was very ugly. And he came out. I can't remember his name, but he was in like that little ugly guy. Can't go. Gotta move on. Anyway, so those are my accents. A couple of them. I got a couple more. But sometimes I like to do that. I wonder if you do watch this and you're kind of at home, not having much to do. Hopefully you're enjoying a little bit of somebody trying to make you entertained. Hopefully you're safe and sound in La La Land, wherever you're isolated at. It's unprecedented times out there. I can tell you that. It's crazy. Columbine 99, 2001, obviously. Crazy shit. Then nothing really happened till 2008, 2009. Had some good years there in the mid-2000s. But there's some, except for the millennials. Like, I'm just kidding. I'm a Zennial. I was just in between the Generation X and Generation Y. I can't remember. So I'm half of both, I guess. That's how I identify anyway. So, with the millennials, it's a different breed. Like, they're different. The brains work differently. Human beings is what I've found, anyway. We're evolving. The human race is evolving way too quick. Well, way too quick for me. I should have been born back in the 50s. I would have been happy. 70s, 80s, 90s. I'd be dying now. Would have been died off. Maybe this COVID would have got me. I don't know. But I would have been head of the class. Not in intelligence, but in evolution-wise. I'll give you an example. Back to what I was saying. My dad gave me advice years ago. When I was 18, he said, son, best advice I ever got. You can party for the next 4 years and live good for the rest of your life. Or you can, no, sorry. You can party for the next 4 years and suffer for the rest of your life. Or suffer for the next 4 years, he was talking about university or my post-secondary education, and live good for the rest of your life. Well, I took that advice to heart. And I partied for 4 years, then partied for about 17 more, and here we are. And I have partied probably more than anybody else watching this video, anybody you know. It's not something to be proud of, but I'm fucking proud of it. That's a second swear word, but I had to emphasize. I partied in every province. I partied with some crazy people, people that would vouch watching this video. When I was born, I wasn't the coolest kid, but you are a product of your environment. I was pretty straight-laced, straight-edge, straightforward. There is no gray area. It is black and white, and whatever my dad said, that was the shade I would go with. I didn't have a choice. 18, I realized, holy shit, I got a choice? What's going on? I don't know. So I would kind of overload. Went into party mode. Have not left party mode. I've lived 3 lives for people. The stories I could tell you about partying and going crazy, from St. John's, Newfoundland, right to Vancouver, BC, over the last 20 years. It's been fun. I met back with some friends, even the bullies that I said would bully me back. I met up with most of them within a couple years after high school. And you know, you don't know how it's going to go because you're not timid anymore. And those motherfuckers never were timid. And you're just like, hey, what's up? And they're like, hey, what's up, man? You know, it's good. They grow up. Everybody grows up. That's the thing. And, you know, buying each other beer or smoking a joint with them or something like that. It was cleared everything up. And you move on. So I just hope, you know, people realize now that the bullies are out there, things would happen, and you teach your kids younger, because I didn't know that everybody didn't grow up like me. I didn't know. How do you know that when you're sheltered into a situation where nobody tells you what's going on, nobody tells you what's happening on a daily basis? You have no fucking idea. 4. That's it. Because you can't monetize any videos also on YouTube if you're swearing them. So any videos that swear, they take the money off of them. So one of the things I want to do is release a video every day, try to keep people on the go. I'm almost out of weed though, so I don't usually have a lot of energy without my spinach. We'll see if I come back and try to make people laugh sober. I never tried it because I haven't been sober in 20 years. Tell me you can't party. There's no one that can out-smoke weed. No, guaranteed. Drink? Maybe, if you're going shots and shots and shots and shots. But I guarantee you we can consume the same amount of alcohol. I can act more normal, longer. It's two times in my life that I haven't remembered the evening before and had to have it pieced together. Both great evenings. But I think it was due to narcotics being added without my knowledge on one occasion. And the other occasion, I think I had knowledge. I'm not sure. We'd have to check the tape. But, yeah, I just... Hopefully over the next 6 months, things get back to normal for everybody. Everybody has, you know, a reset. They're home, whether they're crocheting, playing Crazy Eights, Cribs, 45s, Scrabble, Monopoly, Payday, Doctor... I don't know what that was. Remember the... in there. Have you like... What are games? No, not video games. Board games. There was board games when I was a kid. It was cool. I didn't like them. Video games are way cooler. Never mind. Obviously, one movie that I watched that's freaking crazy, but really good actor. If I ever had to do an audition tape for a movie to show what range I had in acting, that would be the one. It is called Split by M. Shyamalan. It's in the series with Unbreakable, Split, and Glass is the third installment. But James McAvoy in that movie, I've acted for a lot of years and always pick apart movies and plots and notice mistakes and have the ability to edit these movies. And if I'm not in it, if I'm in it, I can't watch it. I hate watching myself. I have plays of back in 1998, 97, 99 on video that I can't watch them. Those ones, after 20 years, you can almost watch it. Because I had a donkey head on myself, and you're like, fuck, you're a bad actor back then. But selling cars for 20 years, you have to be a somewhat of a good actor in order to sell a car. You do. And, you know, car salesmen might go, oh, that's bullshit, that's good. When you're having a bad day, you're having a bad day. You walk into work, you can't have a bad day. You have to act like you're not having a bad day. Sometimes I didn't do well. It's not Broadway, but I know when there were occasions when I was having a very bad day and the client had no idea I just killed a raccoon or whatever the bad day was. They had no idea. And that's how you act. You act through it. You make it through. And the days that we're coming into now, you got to take one day at a time. You got to try to survive that day. You got to move on to the next day. You got to live life. You know, the economy is going to be a crap show for probably the next 6 to 8 months. Somebody made some money with this virus. The rich are going to get richer. The people that are worrying about the government giving bailout money to the people that are already rich, they don't need to give any money to the people that are already rich, especially the ones that play the stock market. For entire stock market to drop 10% in one day, and you know it's coming. Days before it dropped, I'd say 4 days before it dropped, 10%, I said, this stock market's going to drop like 10%. Drop 10%. Now it's starting to, so if you had bought short, stocks on short, and then just not knowing, it's knowing it's going to happen, right? The millionaires would have been billionaires. Now, they buy these stocks back at this low, because the economy's going to jump back. If you have any money, try to do a little bit of research, try to buy some stocks, the right ones. Don't take this advice, because I'm not a stockbroker. A friend of mine does have a good system that he's doing with something that I don't want to mention, but he told me about it, and it is brilliant. I wish I had the money to invest. Rudy Gunn, shout out, dude, right to you, right there. Search for Rudy Gunn, ask him, and he'll DM you with some knowledge. But it's not out in the public, so I'm not going to be a spoiler alert on that one. Reach out to Rudy Gunn. So I didn't talk about much today, except for, trying to boost people's spirits, because this time is pretty fucking crazy. Maximum five. Maximum five times I've sworn. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, but, yesterday I did a walk with this and had no idea how it was going to turn out. Did no editing, so it's clink, clank, clank on the microphone and stuff. Today is probably, hopefully, going to be a little bit better. I'll probably watch the first 30 seconds to a minute. I appreciate anybody that's got this far in the video. Thank you for taking the time. Hopefully I've had the ability to entertain you a little bit with my mic foolery. Just ridiculous times that we're in. I'm so freaking bored that you know what, I've been watching every YouTube video, every Netflix stand-up special that I possibly could, and I don't watch a lot of stand-up specials, just the ones that are friggin' amazing. To mention a couple right now, Bert Kirshner is the Machine is amazing. All his specials are amazing. He's one of the funniest comedians I've ever watched. These are people that have been in the business for 20 years but aren't as mainstream as some of the others. Steve Hofstadter's hilarious, obviously. I've said that for a long time. With back to Bert Kirshner, he's with the Joe Rogan crew. So if you like Joe Rogan, I got to shout out Joe Rogan with Bert Kirshner because they're in the same crew. Joey Diaz is also in that crew. I'm sure you've heard of Joe Rogan through the UFC, stuff like that. His stand-up is hilarious. With Joey Diaz being one of my top five. Bert Kirshner being one of my top five. Bert Kirshner's probably, of all time, still in my top five. Because I got George Carlin in my all-time top five. I'm talking ones that millennials, even millennials should watch this. George Carlin and Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, and you got your clean comedians like Jaime Foxworthy and your dirty comedians like Larry the Cable Guy. He doesn't swear, but he's pretty dirty looking. I asked Edmonton parking lot, River Creek Casino. Larry the Cable Guy did a show, was coming out. I had fucking joints and joints and joints, reek like weed, coming out of his show. It's like, dude, you want to smoke a joint? I don't smoke weed. I don't care who you are. I don't smoke weed. Like that. I was like, all right, man, whatever. You should try. But he's stupid enough. You can't. He's a smart motherfucker, that guy, though. Put a character on like that. I'd be annoying as fuck to live with that guy if he actually acted like that all the time. But to get on stage and have a character like that, method actor, hopefully, is what he truly is. I don't know him at home. Never been home with him. Maybe if he sees this video, we'll go home together. No, I'm just kidding. Fuck off, man. How do you identify? I might be single, but I do like the ladies. To each his own, though. Wow, how much time do I got? I got about a minute and a half. So I want to tell you about a couple. Okay, so a minute and a half left. If you got this far, you're going to love these. Best breakup lines that I've ever gotten from girls. Because I've broke up with this is going to make sense. Trust me. I've broke up with the ones that I wanted to break up with. The ones that I didn't want to break up with have broke up with me. And the lines that I've gotten from the ones that have broke up with me, here I'm going to tell you. First one. Actually, this one never even dated me. You're back in high school and you're like, hey, what's up? I got this girl I like. She's a friend of yours. You know her? I don't know her. I wonder if she date me. Oh, I'll ask her. You're 12 years old, whatever. Okay. Yeah. So my buddy goes over and asks this girl, hey, Mike thinks you're cool. Mike likes you. Do you think you might go on a date with him or something? Maybe chat or something. She went, well, he's not the best looking guy in the world, but at least he doesn't do drugs. She didn't know me very well. That was a good one. No, it wasn't grade 11. That was like grade 8 or 9. I can't remember. But anyway, that was one. Another one. I'm dating this girl for like 2.5 years. She's a doctor. She circumcised me. I'm going to tell you that story at a later date, but she circumcised me when I was like 22, 23. I dated her for like 2 years, from 22 to 24. So probably 23. This is before she was a doctor. Hot. Now she's a doctor. I fucked a doctor long before she was a doctor. But anyway, that goes back to another story. A lot of girls, once they date me, see, this is starting to kick in. Once they date me, a lot of the girls, they'll find their soulmate right after we break up. Like, we'll date and everything will be great. They want to be my friend, but then they'll find somebody else and everything's like, that's crazy shit. But anyway, back to the doctor. What she said to me when we broke up, we were together for 2 years, moved to BC with her, moved back with her, was supposed to be moving to Ontario with her. A week before she goes, she's like, what are you doing in September? This is obviously August. What are you doing in September? I'm going to Ontario with you, like we planned. I don't think so. I'm like, what? Like, huh? She's like, you didn't think we were going to last forever, did you? Yes. I mean, no. No, I didn't have any. No. I did. Wished it did, but it didn't. Another one. Actually, I don't wish anymore. Fuck, I had a good life. My head had been tied down. I would have been a good one to be tied down. But I wouldn't have the stories to tell you if I had stayed with her. But anyway, that's 31 and a half minutes. I only want to do 30 minutes a day. That's what I want to practice. But tomorrow I want to start with the advice. No, the question that I get asked when I do stand-ups, like from other stand-ups. It's like, how much time you got? So if you're like, why is he doing 30 minutes? And you're trying to do 30 minutes at a time, trying to learn 30 minutes. People are like, what do you got? I'm going to start out with that, and I'm going to tell you what my answer is. All right. Everybody have a good day. Be safe. Love each other. Take care of each other. See somebody down, pick them up. Don't kick them. That's what the world needs to do. And everybody will survive. Peace, love. Have a good day.